Hey there, Wargamers, and welcome back to another Wargames Delivered video. Be sure to visit us at wargamesdelivered.com to get the paints, miniatures, and supplies used in this video, and also to refer a friend. You guys will both get a $15 discount, and with that, let's get into the video. In this video, I wanted to give you guys a detailed breakdown on how I go about painting character models, starting with part 1. This will be a 3-part video series, so stay tuned. And so today we're going to be talking about using an airbrush to base coat a miniature using Army Painter products, and specifically the advantages of using a Zenithal priming method for character models. Let's talk a little bit about the tools you'll need for this technique. You'll obviously need an airbrush, but also a compressor, a paint mask, and Army Painter's primer in black, white, and gray. We're going to be substituting gray for blue in this video, but you can really use any color for your mid-tone depending on the mini. We're starting off with Air Matte Black here. Whenever I'm priming a mini with an airbrush, I use about a 3:1 ratio of paint to Airbrush Medium. This helps the paint stick to the plastic a little bit more. And always test out your airbrush on a different surface before you jump right into your mini. Let's talk about the technique itself now. Zenithal priming is a technique where you start by priming the miniature black, then spraying it with gray or your midtone from a 45-degree angle, and finally spraying it with white from a 90-degree angle. This creates a gradient effect where the highest points of the miniature are the brightest and the lowest points are the darkest. And as you can kind of tell already, the first few layers will be pretty transparent, so give it time to dry. Work on a different area and come back to solidify the color later by adding more layers. We're sort of underpainting with this color as well, so make sure the color is strongest in the recesses of the arms and the legs and anywhere where the sun wouldn't be hitting. And for anyone interested in trying out some of these air paints for yourself, we have a unique promotion for all of the Army Painter paint lines over on our website at wargamesdelivered.com, where if you buy 6, you'll get 3 free paints of your choice with your order. There'll be a link for this promotion in the description below. And just keep adding layers here to the mini. The only thing that I try to avoid with the black is hitting the tops, like where the brightest colors will be. This will just set you up for a better base on those colors. Moving on here, we can start to establish our midtone on the mini, and you can really use any color for this. Since Captain America's armor is mostly blue, we'll go ahead and use Ultramarine Blue, the air version of this paint, as our base coat and our midtone. With this mini in particular, it was a little bit tricky to see how much paint is being applied since the plastic is blue itself. But just keep that in mind while you're working and try to not add too much paint at once. Just like working with a brush, build up your colors in layers with the airbrush for a smooth finish. The more you use your airbrush, the more familiar this kind of technique will become. And now that we're starting to see a bit of color pop out on the mini, like I mentioned before, just try to leave the darkest parts of the mini with a bit of the matte black showing through for some natural highlights and some natural shadows. We do want Captain America's suit to read as blue, so we will be covering up a lot of the black that we established before, but if you apply in thin layers, you can kind of create a sort of gradient between the undercoated black areas and the top parts of the uniform. And now that we've established our midtone, we can add highlights as our final priming step, using about a 2:1 ratio of Ultramarine Blue and Matte White air paints to make that highlight color. Make sure to add this slowly and don't add too much. This can change the tone of the mini if you do. When applying this last highlight step, just be aware that less is more. That's like the key to this last step. You don't want to add too much and really change the tone of the uniform. It may come out a little bit brighter than you intended, but as you'll see in the next few videos, blocking in the rest of the colors and adding some shades and highlights will really push the Zenithal Prime to the next level. Overall, using an airbrush to base coat a miniature using Army Painter products and the Zenithal priming method is a great way to speed up your painting process while still achieving great results. So next time you're painting a character model, try to give this technique a try and see the difference it can make in your finished minis. I use that on all of the Marvel United minis you're seeing here in this last shot. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more painting tutorials, and also be sure to check out the top link in the description for the giveaway attached to this video. Thanks again, guys, and happy wargaming!